Hi, this is Naomi with Sword and Steel, and Happy New Year! Today I wanted to show you the second generation of Turbo Dork Mother Lode paint. The second generations are much improved from the first generation, so if you had trouble using the first generations, then check out these new versions. In this video, maybe go try it yourself and you see that there is a difference. They worked hard to try and improve them, and I am satisfied. You let me know what you think, and I want to show you what you might be able to do with this paint in this video. I hope you enjoy. Here is a Termagant miniature I primed with Chaos Black spray primer and then applied 2 coats of the Army Painter Fanatic Matte White onto its back carapace, so we could see how this paint worked over white, which is what the bottle itself suggests to put it over, as well as over black, which I personally find is always worth experimenting with for these types of paints. And by these types of paints, I mean translucent paints with metallic pigments in them. That would be all of the Turbo Dork paints that are currently out. Notably, these will look even more reflective over a glossy black or a glossy white or whichever glossy color you want. So maybe keep that in mind, but I just wanted to show you its basic effect, and you can go forth and experiment further should you wish to. So over white, you can see for anyone who has used the first edition of these paints that there is now an immediate visible difference. This was very important to Turbo Dork. I've spoken with the owner of Turbo Dork multiple times now, so I can attest to it, that this new wave of their paints was made to make it much easier to use for new painters, as well as to require fewer coats needed to have an effect. It was very important to them, and I think their goal has clearly been succeeded. They've also created their own thinner to use with the paints, so you can use it better through an airbrush, which I will show in future videos. But as I knew most people don't have an airbrush, and some people have had serious issues using the original Turbo Dork paints with just their paintbrush, I decided that I would be focusing on how to use it with a hand brush more in these videos than with an airbrush. The airbrush videos are going to be in the future. So that does mean if you like this video and find this helpful, now would be the time to tell me so in the comments and like the video, because this is for you. So here is the Termagant with 2 coats of the Mother Lode over both the white and the black. As you may have noticed, I did not thin it down as I was applying it. This is directly from the bottle, which is a bigger size than it used to be, by the way, 20 mils now. I did apply it with a damp paintbrush, I should add, and I do clean out my paintbrush multiple times as I'm using the paint so as to use the freshest paint as possible. I'm not saying you don't thin down your paint just a little for better flow if you need to. My purpose here is just to show you what can be done with this paint as is and what it would look like. If you aren't one to clean out your paintbrush incessantly like I do and refreshen the paint incessantly like I do, which I do suggest, but if you don't, then I would highly suggest thinning down this paint as it is fairly quick to dry out, and thinning it down will lengthen that drying time. It's acrylic base, so an acrylic thinner or flow improver would work best for thinning it. Okay, now, what are you doing to that lantern, I hear you ask? Well, the lantern was just some decoration I picked up at the local dollar store last year, I think it was, which I then improved, I personally think, with Vallejo snow effects sometime last year. Well, those snow effects do a decent job alone, the wet snow effects, or if you want to use dry snow effects and mix it in with paint or whichever. I do think that does a decent job of making snow, but I personally find adding a bit of this Mother Lode or some similar Turbo Dork color onto the snow or into the snow effects even better to give it a bit of sparkle. It just adds a nice extra touch of realism. I like to mix it in particularly with AK snow sprinkles and add some dry snow flocking to coat tufts and bases in an irregular pattern, with more sprinkles here and more snow effects there to make some simple snow bases. Snow sparkles naturally, so I like to use paints like this one to mimic that. Is it necessary? Nope. But do I like it better? Yes, I do. Maybe I just like sparkles, but I like it. Does anyone now want to paint an army in this color scheme? Because it's pretty cute. I can't wait to see what the other Turbo Dork Tyranids are going to look like. Because this is one color. There's 80 colors. We've got some work to do. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see all of them. It's going to take some time. I'm going to need some encouragement that is actually what you want. So like the video. You curious at all? Like the video. Show it to someone else if you think that they would like it as well. And I also want to thank all of these patrons and YouTube members that help make the channel keep going. So thank you very much. And more and more paint videos will be coming out. I'm still doing the paint library, just slowly but surely. It's going to be happening. Sometimes I like to assemble things in between and show you games in between. But it's happening. One paint at a time. And yes, when I've done all of the termagants in the various colors, I will be creating a video showing all of them in the one video, so you can look out for that in the future, which is why you should be subscribed if you aren't already. Alright, bye! Here's this guy again, so you can check out his base once more. If you want a video just on how to do very simple snow bases, if you like this, you should let me know.